start the meeting.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Roll call. I'm going to write that down. Piece of paper. Yep.
Okay, Francis Gustafson.
Here.
Dennis Winkler. Justin Lundy.
Here. Approval of the minutes. Approval of the minutes. The meeting April 9th, 15th. Take a look at the meetings. Need a motion on that.
I think there's a correction here.
What's that, Bob?
You have Tom Coppola there, and I don't want to discourage his good name.
Oh, okay.
Sorry about that.
Bob,
I think it should be me.
yeah, make that right.
Thank you.
Okay. I need a motion for the,
I'll make a motion to
need a second, Justin?
Yeah, second.
Okay, all in favor? Okay. Special meeting of April 26th, 15. Sweet. And hiring the person. Yeah, I don't think she knew that, but it was just for the approval of the hiring of the wellness board. So I need a motion then, she has.
You have a copy of the minutes for that?
I didn't get that.
She has to make one and put it in here, she'll make a correction of that and put it in there. It was just for the hiring.
Yeah, I believe it.
But we
Well, you
still
really
need-
can't approve that until you bring it to a meeting.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
So you just put it on for next month.
Just put it on there.
Next time.
Yeah. And that's just the work. thing
Okay.
for- yeah. Okay, visitors' comments. Start off front here,
Not right now.
okay? Got anything? Howie, you have anything? Bob?
Yes, I do. On your agenda of last month and previous to that, in March, I sent a letter about disparities in EDUs. And more specifically, some of the bar rooms have attached dwelling units and some don't. For example, the Wheatville Hotel has the bar room, but then it has an attached apartment, formerly Rick Kroc Hotel. Now I understand it's rented. In that case, they only assessed one EDU for both the business and the apartment, which we've all went over at the last meeting. So the question is, why aren't they assessed two EDUs? Because this is very unfair in that St. Joseph's Terrace over there has 22 units and they're assessed 22 EDUs. And if you go through the numbers, the terrace over there only uses, typically, if you take the average 22 divided into their consumption for the previous quarter, you come up with 4,500 gallons. The similar question was raised at the Water Authority with regards to the RTS, or readiness to serve. As you know, the Water Authority charges $23 a month for readiness to serve. At the last meeting of the Jay Township, or at the April meeting of the Jay Township Water Authority, they thought, in all fairness, there should be two RTS charges assigned to the Wheatville Hotel as well as similar other units. So, you know, it's like this board does not want to face this issue. And it's not just the Wheatville Hotel. I mean, there's nothing in the agenda with regards to this. You're just walking away from it. And I think this is a matter relating to fairness to everybody connected to this wastewater system.
Okay, before you get carried away,
Well-
First of all, when they go to two EDUs, the water company should have two separate. If it's an upstairs apartment, because my house was two, an upstairs
Okay.
apartment and downstairs. So
Okay,
if it's a full house, a bathroom, sink, kitchen, then it's considered to be a home, a second home in the same house. At that
Is this a
time,
sec-
now
Go
wait,
ahead.
when my house was separate, in two apartments, you had a water meter for upstairs, you had a water meter for downstairs. So I don't see, until they put the water meters in for the upstairs and downstairs, you gotta split that. Then you can charge
okay,
us accordingly.
why don't you split St. Joseph's Terrace? There's only one water
I
meter
don't know what
there.
they did then.
Well,
I'm just telling you
your
what they did at my
explanation,
house.
Franny, does not hold water for St. Joseph's
I'm just
Terrace.
trying to tell you.
I'm trying to tell you
that you
what's
go
fair.
to each one that don't have a separate bathroom. Don't
Which
have a
doesn't?
separate- If you go to some of these places, they're not all separated. They're not all separate bathrooms, separate things. I think you're gonna get into a big conflict.
I don't think so, because the water authority did it without a problem. The water
Well,
authority had no problem at all doing it.
I'm waiting to see if they don't get into some conflict with that, Bob.
What do you hear? Are you hearing something outside?
I think there's gonna be some conflicts.
Well, I don't think there is, because I attended the last water meeting
Well,
as well as you. And that was implemented in the previous meeting.
I'm just saying. you
So
don't-
clearly, there were no problems.
Should have to be separated.
So am I gonna bring this up month after month?
Well, until we see what happens with this situation.
Well, can't you display some leadership here rather than following the water
We'll
authority?
look into it, Bob.
No, that's the answer I got before, Franny. Everything is you look into it. It goes nowhere.
I know when my place was two houses, you had a whole kitchen, the whole bathroom, the whole living quarters.
Don't you have that
They're
down
doing
here? Don't you have that at the
I
window?
don't know.
I do. You have
I
a whole
don't know.
living quarters separate from the bar room. As a matter of fact, according to the Liquor Control
Do you
Board's
have a kitchen
regulations,
upstairs? I don't know. if you have a
according to
kitchen.
the Liquor Control Board regulations, the apartment has to be separated from the bar unless it's the owner living there. So where the tenant lives, or Rick Kroc formerly lived, that
Then
is
they should have
separated
two
from the
meters.
bar.
Then they should have two meters.
Shouldn't that be a 1 EDU? Why doesn't the terrace have
Well, I don't
22
know.
meters?
I don't know why they did that.
Well, your explanation does
I
not
don't
hold
know.
water.
I wasn't here when they hooked it up.
It doesn't hold water, Franny, because you've got
I'm gonna look
22
into it.
EDU assessments over here. You're taking over
Well,
$1,000
I'm gonna look
from
into
these
it.
older people. When?
I will.
When?
Like I said, I don't know how that's gonna be.
Are you gonna have an answer at the next
I
meeting?
don't know. When I
You-
get to it,
Well, this is where we
case
go.
closed.
This is where we
Next,
go
go
with
ahead.
the township. Just spin our wheels.
Christine?
I have several questions, and I'm gonna ask my questions, so I don't exceed my 3
Go
minutes.
ahead.
I wanna back up, Bob, first of all. I'm tired of hearing just your opinion on these
Is
EDUs.
everybody here?
This should have been on the agenda tonight. All 3 of you board members should be studying this issue and come up with what you feel is fair to everyone. We don't hear from Dennis, we don't hear from Chester. I would like to know how everyone feels, so I back him up that this should be on the agenda next month. And there should be some discussion in front of us from you 3 about how you feel about it. The second thing I have,
I don't want to change.
this is my time.
Go ahead.
On March 14th, I put in an open record request. There were several items on it. I told Christine a while back I would be satisfied with just if I could get an answer on 2 of the items. I wanted a 1-page copy of your budget for last year, showing all the actuals for every quarter. And I asked for the terms of your 2 vacancies, your vacancies, and I would like to know the term limits of you 3 board members. You have denied my request because it was to be answered in 5 days. Well, now it's 2 months. I think it's very sad that for 2 simple things, I couldn't get an answer. You make things very difficult. The next item is You got my letter dated April 1st, shortly before your meeting last month. You didn't have time to put it on the agenda in correspondence. You said you would put it on the agenda. I asked to have it on the agenda tonight, and I asked for answers to my letter in writing. You said you would review it. There were 5 or 6 concerns I have about this authority, and it's not on your agenda, and I haven't had any answer. So, I would like to know, I come to these meetings. I think I've even been helpful once or twice. You had a very poor treasurer's report. And I helped you, guided you, so you have the nice treasurer's, more detailed treasurer's report that you have. I don't come here to make trouble. I have legitimate concerns about the way your board operates. That's what was in my letter. I'm a resident of this township, and I deserve to have my questions and concerns answered. Why do you ignore me and others who come to the meeting?
Okay, your minutes are up. We're going to go on to the next one. 3 minutes is what we
Excuse
give
me.
you. We give you 3 minutes.
You have to answer her yet.
I want
My answer
answers
is
to my,
I
Dennis,
read.
what is
Okay,
fair?
I
Let
read.
me respond here.
You
a little bit,
respond.
All right? First of all, the questions you have, I'd be happy to meet with you and discuss them.
No, I want them discussed in front of everyone.
All right, yeah, but initially, okay?
No, I want them
Because
answered
I
here
don't
at
have
the
a
meeting.
copy of some of the questions that you've asked.
I have it right here. Would you like it?
I may not have all of them, okay? But I'll be happy to work with you on getting those answers for you, yes.
I want them answered here at the meeting.
All right, I'll review them, and next meeting you'll have answers.
My points too, Dennis?
Your points, what were they?
Check
Oh,
the
the
writing.
EDUs.
Yeah,
Can
the
we set up
EDUs.
some kind of a committee or something, because
Who's
the
gonna-
disparity between the water company, maybe we could meet with the water company to see what they do. Do you find that's acceptable?
Well, they're
Or
charging them
we need
too.
to review it, but I think we need some input
Well,
from you people too
You need
on the
to do
thing.
that.
Just not
You
at
know,
the
the
meeting.
thing- the
Sit
thing that
down and
really-
talk about how this is and why it's this way and what would be the proper.
always
Not
been
just the
that way.
3 of us.
What way
make that
should it be?
discussion, make that decision.
what way should it be? What is fair?
What's fair, if you've got an upstairs apartment and downstairs, Bob, you need 2 meters. You
The
gotta
terrace,
separate.
Franny, you go right back to the
I'm just
terrace.
checking why they did that. I
You're
don't
just
know.
grabbing at straws.
I'm not
You're
grabbing
just
straws.
grabbing at straws. Why
Well,
did
I'm just telling you
why
what
did
they
the
did
water,
to me. I had to pay upstairs and downstairs, I had 2 meters.
Us comply, we're not complying.
when should we talk?
I agree.
You know, there's only 2 entities in this whole system that pays more than 1 EDU. One is the school, no, there's 3. St. Joseph's Terrace and Brouse's Car Wash. That's it. Everybody else on the sewer system, 1 EDU.
That's a readiness to serve, I call that 4850, and the other is a
That's a
charge by a meter, there's not an EDU
Oh,
charge.
geez.
Did you read your booklet, Franny? Oh,
I don't
you have so
know
much
that,
to
but-
learn, Franny. You just have so much to
All right.
learn.
Denny, I would like to address,
You
Denny,
already got 3 minutes.
no, I didn't have any 3
I know
minutes.
that.
Denny, this 3-minute rule, the 3-minute rules is we have a chance to talk for 3 minutes. And then you guys are supposed to respond, and you weren't doing it just now. You
I have
you talked to
nothing to say on that
Christine,
point.
you asked
I told
Christine,
you
you
what
listened
I
to her,
thought.
and then you turned around and said, okay, go to the next one. Nobody addressed her concerns. And that should take 2 hours if it
I
needs to be.
agree.
Well, then somebody
You
needs
should
to
get some response.
overtalk him. Somebody needs to take over.
Obligation that they'll address your concerns.
Well, you're a member of the board. Who else should see it?
Well, I don't know how to participate in these boards, I'm just getting broke in here.
Oh, come on.
Oh, come on, my ass, man.
Just down,
hey.
Next. Now, Thor, you have something to say? You have something to say, Ricky?
Yeah, my questions are the same as what I asked last month.
Yes, go
It was
ahead.
about the EDUs, I think we should do something about that. And the monthly reports for the maintenance, they're the same. I mean, you got 3 or 4 people over there working, you only got 1 report. Who's doing the work?
Well, Ricky, that's the way, I can't have him write a whole letter every month. He puts his basic things down there and that's the way he.
So basically, he's just doing what he wants over there.
Yes, and I can show when you did it, that's the way you did it. You put down your basics every month. There wasn't a whole report.
But I was here at the meeting to answer any questions
You
about
were,
it.
but he won't come to the meeting because he don't want to put up with this crap all the time. Okay? He won't put up with it.
Now, I
Go
reviewed
ahead,
some.
next.
Yeah, I have a question. What's the status of Yvonne's employment here? Is she still here?
Wait a minute, let me tell you.
Okay.
I reviewed some of the old meetings of
Yes.
some other boards. And I saw a statement saying there was no report,
Go get it in the office.
but they said it's on file in the office, and Bob Coppola made that statement. It was referred to you saying, these are on file in the office, if you want to see them, go to the office to see them.
What specifically?
So we
is that?
are much
Maintenance-
more
the maintenance
detailed now. than we
reports.
were
For what?
before.
I looked at some of the minutes.
For what, Denny?
Huh?
For what?
When
For
they
the
asked
maintenance
about
report.
maintenance reports, there
For
was
what?
statements saying Bob Coppola says.
On the sewer authority?
The storage.
I've never been a member of the sewage.
I read it on
We're
those
just, we're
minutes.
just telling you.
Well,
what
they
it
put
said.
in there whatever they want.
But there was.
Okay,
there
okay,
was
go on to the next one. Go ahead now.
Go
You asked me
ahead.
a
What is
question.
the status of Yvonne's employment? Is she still here?
She's still here if she gets well enough to come back. With a plant, she has passed her test.
Did she pass her test?
Yes, she won't be back in this office.
She had passed all 3 of them, Brenda?
2 that I know of, Bob. Don't ask me what she got on them. I don't know.
No,
passed
she
2.
took 3 tests. She and I
don't-
recommended to her what to
I don't
take.
know. All I know is she passed 2 that I'm told.
Do you know which ones?
No, I don't know. I don't know.
Because she was only gonna
I
take
don't-
2, and I
don't
said,
get
you should
involved.
take the collection system. And she thought about it and signed up for that.
I know she said she passed 2 of them. I don't know if she took 3 that day or not.
Well,
but,
I mean, the board paid for this, so it's a matter of a public
and
record.
I'll get whatever she got when I see her, but, like I said, she has been coming in once or twice a week, but I don't think she was here this week. Depends on how she feels.
Yeah.
Hopefully she gets back on her feet in a month or so, I don't know. Might take 2 months. She just went through chemo, she went through radiation, and I think she's all done.
She's gonna go to-
And all I know, they say it's working, so I can't tell you when she'll be back. That's all I had to say on that. Okay, Bill, do you have anything to say? Okay, Mrs. Johnson?
Yep.
Yeah.
As far as the mag meter up there,
Mhm.
they used about 6,000 gallons in March, 6,000 in April. They had a lot of backwashes during those 2 months, so some of that came from the backwashes. The toilet at the plant's been leaking, so I think a lot of the water's coming from there.
We really had no problem with that, but we're not supposed to get any backwash. None at all. None at all. That valve is not supposed to be open to the sewerage. I see it going up and down, and I know somebody has to be open and close it. I don't have time to come over, and last time I tested it was way off the Richter scale. And
Last
then-
time you tested what?
Last time I tested the grinder pump, that's where it comes through. And the backwash should not at all be going in there. We discussed this. I just gave Bob the thing for the whole year, and he can see where sometimes it was $600 gallons a day. Sometimes it's what, Bob?
I didn't go through it, Franny, he just gave it to me, but
Well,
I
I
mean,
can see where it fluctuates, and I just asked, when I come over and I did the 1 test, we should have not been getting any of that.
well, but once
So-
again, I mean, if you look at the recent months,
They
they've
were
been
way down.
very good.
The recent
100
months-
gallons a day, but
Yes.
there's been an upward trend. Now, there is a
Yeah,
mistake
I
in your
don't know why.
average
I'm
here.
not, we're not gonna sit and argue with it unless.
Well, I'm
it's
not
right.
arguing, I'm just pointing it out.
All I know is to open that valve up, we need a permit. I'm not arguing with anybody over it. I've argued for 4 years over that industrial waste, and I'm not arguing about it. We don't want the valve open, and that's the way it is. I mean, if you wanna open the valve, it goes
They're
through
not
those series.
opening the valve.
How's it getting in there?
Henry said today he thinks that there's a leak in there, in the valve or something, and he's gonna look into that.
Yeah, and that's fine.
And the toilet's leaking in the plant, so some of it's
Yeah.
probably coming from that. I told him to get that replaced tomorrow.
Yeah, because that's all we should get is
Can I just
mold
talk,
sink. Yes, go ahead.
please? I mean, seriously, you keep interrupting me.
No,
I just wanna
I'm
say what I
just
have to
trying
say.
Go ahead, you say what you gotta say.
So that's where we are with the mag meter.
Mhm.
she brought me the bill the other day
Mhm.
for the plant. Says they use 69,000 gallons of water, which isn't right. I asked her about it, and she said she doesn't know anything about how to do the billing here. We don't read that, neither
Okay.
yous do, so we 3 board members is gonna have to
Mag
figure
meter?
this out with,
We'll go over
With her.
it, we'll go over it with her tomorrow.
I pulled the bills all the way from
Should've been 16.
November of 2013, when you started billing us.
Mhm.
The read at that time was $5.80. You charged us for 11,000 gallons. The next bill, the previous read was $5.80. Present read $5.94. You charged us for 14,000 gallons.
Mhm.
The next bill, the previous read was $5.80. Present read $5.94. You charged us for 14,000 gallons.
That's the quarterly read? They ain't supposed to be
These are the
doing-
quarterlies. The
okay.
next bill after that, the previous read was $5.80. Present read $5.94. You charged us for 14,000 gallons. The bill she gave me the other day, the previous read was $5.80. Present read $6.63, charges for 69,000 gallons.
It should be written on the bottom. of
So-
the things.
Since you started reading the meter, you've been charging us for the previous read of $5.80 on every single bill.
I'll look at it because that's something's wrong there. I'll look at it.
Well,
I don't
no
know why.
shit, something's wrong. That's why I'm here.
That's good.
So according to your mag meter read, we've used 29,000 gallons since November of 13. We've been billed for 122,000 gallons. We paid for 53,000 gallons, because I didn't pay the new bill she brought me the other day yet, because we're not paying that, because it's not right.
Well, I don't know where the mistake was,
So
but it
you
wasn't
overcharged
any-
us for 20, just let me talk.
Oh, go ahead.
You've overcharged us for 24,000 gallons of water, so we want reimbursed for that.
That's fine if it's there. I'll
What
take
do
a
you
look
mean
at it
that's fine if it's
tomorrow.
there? I have it all
I
right
don't know
here in
what's
black
there.
and white.
I don't know what's there. I'll look at it tomorrow. I don't do the bills. I'll have to look at it tomorrow. I don't do the
I
bills.
don't
I'll
know
look at
about
it.
it.
Does anybody know anything about it? Because she don't know anything. Who the hell is running this place?
Well, that has to be Yvonne. It's the first month she was here. So that's the way that is. I can't help what's wrong. I'll look at it because it's right on the bottom of the papers that we have, or what the quarterly is. So there should be not no problem with it. I'll look at it tomorrow and I will know.
Yeah,
Okay.
why ain't the water company reading that? It's their meter.
It's their
Sorry.
meter.
It's their meter,
They read
okay.
that man meter.
That's the magnator in the manhole. That should be easy to figure out. Once we look at the papers and it's written right on the bottom, I don't know why the mistakes were made. So we'll look into it, that's all I can tell you. I'll give you a call and we'll straighten it out from there. Okay. All right.
You gonna look into that tomorrow?
Yeah, I'll give you a call. I'll be here tomorrow.
I'll come over tomorrow.
I'll take a look at the papers and we'll figure it out.
I'll help you figure it out. What time you want me to come over?
Come over about 10 o'clock. Okay.
I just want to say one more thing. Rick, Keith,
Treasurer.
whichever one of you wins for supervisor, put a stop to this madness.
Okay, let's not play politics.
Okay, the treasurer's report, the first account, First Commonwealth debt, the balance was $995.20, foreign cents of interest was added to the ending balance of $995.24. The second maintenance account for First Commonwealth, the beginning balance is $883.79. Subtract the user fee and add the user fee for $12.94, leads you to a balance of $883.79. And the third account, the First Commonwealth, the general fund checking account, for revenue, beginning balance was $20,448.62. Transfer from user fees was $1,294. User fees collected was $51,177.03. We also deposited the check for $10,000 for the grant. And we had the tap-in fee for Sarah Whitman and the inspection fee for Kessler, and that was $1,300, which gives us total revenue in April of $84,219.65. The total expenses in April were $57,739.96, which leaves us a balance of $26,479.69.
Okay. Accounts payable. Take a look at the accounts payable. That's why I said so high because of that 19,600. The bill, the 57 instead of 19,600.
Yeah, that was enough.
Huh?
2 more employees as well.
Yes, yeah, but that's, let's put it up there, that's 20,000. Okay, we need a motion.
I make the motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Aye. Okay, funds for sewage. Okay, we took care of Mrs. Wilson. Inspection fees for John Kessler, that's taken care of through there, okay. The line of credit for 19,000. We just have to discuss, we're gonna give that back tomorrow. That goes on with this thing down here that we got the 10,000 back from Mount County. So tomorrow, Chester, you have to go up with you, put that in the bank and pay on that loan.
Yeah, you can do that.
Whatever time you come down, Mark, 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock. and,
Yeah.
We're right up there to take care of that. So we did get that 10,000 back from the grant money for the SCADA system.
You didn't get a SCADA system.
Whatever, Bob, you know what I
You
mean.
got a PC.
We got the electrical system, we're
You got a
we're
PLC.
perfectly accurate.
You don't have a SCADA system.
All
You're
right, we're not
perfectly
gonna
off
say-
the wall for me.
Okay.
You're misleading the public.
All right, Bob, that'll be enough. That'll be enough,
Be accurate.
that'll be enough,
Be accurate.
be enough.
Precision.
One more word, you'll be out the door.
Detail.
One more word, you'll be out the door.
Double detail.
Meeting's now adjourned,
You can't do that.
Can't do that.
meeting's now adjourned. We paid the bills. Meeting is now over.
No, you have 2 other board members that can say whether it's adjourned or not.
Want this motion go
I'm
on?
gonna make a motion.
I would continue the meeting.
You want to
Good,
continue
thank
the
you.
meeting, Chester?
Yeah, I got some items here, Fran.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any more, and we will stop this meeting of that crap.
Please.
We've had a problem over there when they put the new electronics in, they put a surge protector on that panel. We've talked about it before about a surge protector on the plant itself. I think the quote is around $1,400. I think we ought to consider getting a surge protector because the power went off here, flickered last week, and he came over and the power was off, you understand, but when it comes back on, we get a surge. I don't know. It just seems to me we should get surge protectors on that plant.
Yeah,
What goes down, can I talk? I mean, I've
Did
worked.
you raise your hand, Bob?
I've
Go
worked
ahead.
in-
Go ahead, Don.
Okay, now
Go
go
ahead.
ahead. That's the
Okay,
way
I've
you
worked in the
properly do
field,
that, Bob.
Sally's seen it, Sylvania, I've worked
Okay,
with
go
them.
ahead, Bob.
Come on.
You're talking about a surge protector. Okay, what went down? Was it the PLC?
Nothing went down. The power flickered over there. So
Well,
when Barry
the
came in, he knew the power was off. I don't know about it.
If this power flickers, a surge protector is not necessarily going to help that.
I-
If the power goes off for a short period of time, PLCs sometimes do not boot up right. That's what happens at these pump stations from time to time. You have those little electronic microprocessor controllers. Now, if you get a long power outage, goes down, and then maybe a minute or so later it comes back up, the thing goes through its boot sequence, it starts up, and it's fine. But if you get a momentary drop in power, it starts the boot down sequence, and then power comes back, and it gets lost. That's why Punk used to have to go down and reset those. Now, a surge protector does not address that problem. You want a UPS, an uninterruptible power supply. I mean, you can buy them for home, for your home computer, and if that's indeed what the problem is. But a surge protector, I mean, there's, I think, about 3 different phenomena you can have in the power line. You can have a surge where you get a swell and the voltage goes above specification. Or you can get a dip. You can have both those. What exactly is happening over there, I don't know. You can get line monitors that you hook up to the incoming power. Now, when I was allowed over there, On three-phase power, you want balance. You want balanced voltage. There was some imbalance in the voltage feed to that plant. I don't know what it's like now, but I mean, you should check that and see if it meets specs. There are specifications, what it should be. The phase-to-phase voltage and the percent imbalance can be calculated. And if that's not within specifications, and when it happens, it could potentially shorten motor lives, because now you generate imbalanced currents to motors, you get heating effects, and they don't run as efficiently. But, I mean, I've heard so often here, to get a surge protector, and the Eaves Group got a quote from Allegheny Electric. I mean, you have to do a little legwork and understand what the problem is before you embark on a solution. And nobody here, other than when I got out of pump one time, a surge protector is likely not going to address that. A UPS would. But
I have some information for Chester, actually. I don't know if this is what Bob was pertaining to or not, but when I was a computer technician, we had those UPSs on all our computer systems.
Okay.
And depending on what was all running, going to be hooked up to that UPS, that determined what size UPS you need. You just can't go out and go to Walmart or Staples and just pick one off the shelf, because you need to know what everything's going to be plugged into that UPS. And then that you have to decide the size that you need.
We would need, like, for example, a separate one for the dry press room, a separate one for the lab, where the power's coming into each.
But you also need to know.
Is it worth, you got to do an assessment here, is it worth the cost?
I don't know, I just brought it up because it was mentioned to me again today.
I mean, for I don't know, a dehydrator or one of the ovens over there, for a momentary surge, it's probably not worth the cost, you don't care. But where you have a microprocessor or a computer like the PLC here, they're much more robust than a desktop computer. I mean, chances are it can survive a dip or a surge. But typically what industry would do, they might put some filtering ahead of that. I mean, one of the common devices is a Corcom filter. And it takes surges and kind of suppresses them to ground. The next step maybe is to get a solar transformer. But there's different approaches to solving these, but you have to understand the problem.
One more thing.
I don't think anybody here has investigated the problem.
The UPSs are only, some of them are only set up to hold power for so long. Yeah, like the ones we had, they would hold for maybe like half an hour. Because they're set up that it's supposed to give you.
At this point, I would assume I just have to check with the national,
You're going already.
the people who put the program in here, the Allegheny Electric. I don't know, Bob. It was just mentioned to me, so if you read on technical stuff, you're singing the choir here because I don't know. I'm going to check with these guys.
Okay, but somebody referred to a problem. What was the problem?
We don't have a problem.
Well,
this is
We
preventive.
don't want it, it's preventive maintenance, and we're gonna ask him if he thinks that would stop any lightning, because when you get lightning over there, it flickers everything, and then if it will cure the problem, then we'll get one. If it, I realize it's
This was just a preventative question against,
Well,
the work they've done over there. So I just brought it up to see what has to be done to check into what problem we may have. And another problem I see over there right now, where they run the electric on the poles along our fence, along the railroad grade, there's some big dead branches hanging over them power lines. Now, if they come down and the power goes out in a storm, I don't know what'll happen when it comes back on. I'm just saying, it was mentioned today, but I don't know what we need or even what it's gonna prevent or help.
if you're concerned about that, you probably should have a phase monitor, because where you have three-phase power, if you lose a
That's
phase.
what I'm trying to tell you. We're just looking into it.
But UPS is not gonna solve that, and the surge suppressor isn't gonna solve that. So you have to get a phase monitor relay.
Well, then that's what we got. Look into it.
You still have a generator.
Yeah, and you still have a generator. I think that generator comes online if you lose a phase.
I don't know, Keith, if it's ever been tested, if it still runs.
It should run every week.
I understand it should be test run. I don't know if it ever
It should do it
has.
automatically.
It should run itself?
It runs itself.
Monday
Monday morning.
You know, there's nothing in the maintenance report about whether these generators run. That should be on that.
Okay,
I'll check that out too, Bill.
all right.
Well, it should be here.
Number 4, bonding, Christine is bonded. So that's done. Got that paperwork back. Okay, old business.
Hey, before you go to old business, I have a question. You said you were gonna put on the agenda to pay for the meter reads, for the water.
I said I can put that on the agenda.
Pay for the
Hey, you
meter
said
reads?
you'd take care of it tonight at the meeting. I have to see it on here.
Pay for the reader reads, what do you mean?
Meter reads. The bill for the meter reads,
Yeah,
get billed for
Oh,
every quarter.
I'll pay it, yeah, but why we have to put on the agenda? I don't know.
Well, when I asked you the other day, because you paid the sewer bills, and I asked you where the payment was for the meter reads, and you said it would be taking care of at tonight's meeting.
No, I said maybe tonight or something, I didn't even mean, no. You must have misunderstood, I must have
We'll take care of that.
misunderstood.
Okay.
And as far as that goes too, I come over here to do the reads, and when I went to do the reads, there was all kind of files and stuff missing off that computer. Drives were changed on it, and she said you had Jack over here working on the computer.
We just had a bunch of
He
crap
deleted
cleaned
all
up.
kinds of stuff, and I spent over an hour over here trying to fix your computer so I could do the reads. So I would suggest getting a professional in here the next time you have a problem to get your computer fixed.
We just had it cleaned out because it wasn't real.
Is he insured? Because he should be for
I
municipalities.
understand you need it cleaned out if you have a virus or whatever, but you need someone professional to do it because he deleted all kinds of stuff you needed for your billing.
Well, we should have a card that we puts it back in.
Why do you utilize Jack McCoskey? What are his credentials?
You don't need to put it back in because I fixed
you
it.
know,
It's working fine.
You have social security numbers on there, you have confidential information.
Wow.
You should be warned, probably.
What's that?
You took care of it.
Yeah, I fixed it.
Sell, what's this ordinance? Sell, resell, what's the sell, resell ordinance on there?
Forget it.
That'd be up to the township planning, pass an ordinance.
What you have that on there for? Okay. The Muffin Monster's pulled and getting repaired. Sent out the ram, the teeth are bad on it. So it's over there getting inspected, and when it comes back, they put it back in when, they're supposed to give us a quote next week. So then, we'll have to have it repaired for sure. So that's where the Muffin Monster is. Alrighty. Frank Azada wants a key, and it's going to the attorney. I thought he was gonna be here tonight, but, he never showed up tonight. The key is, we gave him an option with the key, if he wants to sign a paper to go in and out of the gate, if something happens, if he falls down, he didn't wanna sign the option, so, if you don't wanna take the reliability, you ain't get the key. We told him anytime he wants in, we will let him in and out of the gate. We just can't have people in and out with not responsibility for the gate, so the attorney's taking care of it, and I thought he was gonna come back tonight. That's where we're at with that. And the bottom one, we already discussed it on the 19th and the top, that's that $10,000 grant we got back for the, money that we borrowed. So that's back. Now, is there anything else?
But like, you're seeing the application receipt for the CDBG.
Yeah.
Okay.
We got
But the Act 13 is something different. That was from the county, right?
That's from the county, the 10,000 back grant money, yes. So, that's about all. Do I hear an adjournment?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
All in favor?